Alright, so it's time for these 5 top core strengthening exercises. And what I love about these in particular is that you do not need to be in the gym. What they'll do is they'll help that core of yours, but also what they're going to help is toning your arms, toning your thighs, toning your shoulders. This has to be good, right? Now my favorite is, the best one is number 5, but they're going to be increasing in intensity over these 5. So the first one is to be doing something that directly engages the core, and it's something you can do when you're standing chopping at the kitchen sink, when you're standing in the queue. You can even do them when you're sitting down, maybe in the car waiting at the queue again. And to do this, imagine that your pelvis is a cup, and imagine that your cup, you can either tip forwards or you can tip that cup backwards. Now if you tip it forward, you're going to kind of look a little bit like Donald Duck. If you tip it backwards, it's going to tilt your pelvis literally the other way. And when I was growing up, there's a character called Pink Panther. So it's like you being Pink Panther. I want you to tuck your tailbone under and take that cup backwards slightly. That is actually engaging the core. So feel what that feels like. Close your eyes and do that tip and feel what that feels like. All right, now the second thing is when you're in that position, what I want you to do is contract your pelvic floor. Those are the muscles right at the bottom of your pelvis. And what they do is they literally stop everything from falling out. Well, what they'll also do is engage with those muscles as you're tilting your pelvis and allow this whole area to be strong. What that also does is it means that at the same time you have to strengthen and tighten the muscles that are in the core and your abdomen as well. Now, six-pack abs, they're great. They're actually overrated. What we want is to be able to strengthen our own corset, if you like. And this is exactly what this is doing. Tilting the pelvis and tensing as if you're not going to go to the loo. Those are 2 so far. Use these for all the exercises. The third one is to squat. Now what I mean by this is to just come right down into that squatting position. We're seeing this a lot whilst I'm here in Bali. A lot of the Balinese people squat. It's a powerful way to be able to not only strengthen but tonify the muscles right down to the bottom of the pelvis, the bottom of that pelvic bowl. And when you're in this position, you might find it's a little bit too much for your knees or your hips or your ankles. Go as far as you can comfortably. And see how long you can stay in that position. It might be a case of counting up seconds initially and then going longer according to how you're doing. The fourth one is you'll need a wall or a door. Make sure it's shut and it's steady and sturdy. What you're going to do is you're going to pretend that you're sitting on a seat, but there is no seat. So get your legs so that they're as parallel to the floor as possible and hold yourself in that position. When you tilt your pelvis under and you're holding as if you're not going to go to the loo, then you're really engaging those core muscles, and feel them here at the same time. And hold for as long as you can and build up the time. And then the fifth and final one is something called a plank. So all you need is an area on the ground. Just happen to have a beautiful Balinese lawn. So in this position, holding as if you're a plank of wood, avoiding this and avoiding this. So keep as straight as you can and maybe have somebody help you in terms of making sure that you are in a straight position. And when you're in that position, engaging like we did with Pink Panther, tipping your pelvic bowl, and also engaging that pelvic floor and holding again for as long as you can, but again start with seconds and build up from there. You can bring your knees down if you need to. Alright, so those are your 5. When you combine those and do your routine for just a few minutes, it's going to take you about 3 minutes a day, especially when you start to incorporate it, maybe when you're doing a little bit of chopping at the kitchen sink, you will be amazed. And so if you're interested in more health tips, check out the link below.